Welcome to Foster Career Experience, a podcast featuring interviews with people who've had experience with the foster care system, about their lives, their career journeys, and their stories of navigating the workplace. We all bring unique histories with us in our jobs, and by understanding each other's experiences, we can make the workplace better for everyone. Today's episode features Raychel, a millennial who works in social services. Before Raychel's husband proposed to her, he asked someone very special for their blessing, Raychel's caseworker.
Yeah, my husband actually asked her permission to marry me because she was such, I didn't have a father figure or anything, and I don't have a relationship with my mom very much, and so she was the most important person in my life, and so he actually asked her.
Raychel had the same caseworker for most of her time in care. They developed a good relationship, and Raychel could feel safe knowing that no matter how many times she thought she might mess up, her caseworker would still be there for her and tell her what she needed to hear. After blessing their engagement, Raychel's former caseworker was also a bridesmaid in her wedding, and their families still keep in touch. Her former caseworker moved to another state, but their kids send each other handwritten letters and exchange presents on holidays.
She was that person who was with me in those hard moments. It really showed me that going into this field, how impactful that kind of a relationship is. And that, if I could just change one kid's life the way she changed mine, every trauma I went through and all the hard times I went through is worth it.
Raychel works for a foster care agency where she started as a caseworker and is now a branch manager. In her new role, Raychel informs the local community, businesses, local leaders, and government officials about foster care. She's also responsible for the more than 20 employees who work in the branch office. Raychel does miss some parts of being a caseworker, like doing home visits and spending one-on-one time with foster families, but she loves aspects of her new job as well.
And so I get to go out into the community and raise awareness about who we are and what we do. And I've actually found a lot of joy in that, because what we do is so special and so important in helping people understand not just what we do at the foster care agency here at the sanctuary, but what foster care really is, and that it's not the stigma that people tend to think it is.
Raychel found that people are often surprised to learn that foster parents receive at least 40 hours of training before they become eligible to foster a child. However, foster families often receive less support than they expect after a child is placed in their home.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that when you become a foster parent, some agencies don't offer the support that our agency does. And so when we talk about, here's what we do, we offer 24-hour crisis in-home support, in-home family therapy. We do therapy for biological children in the home, and they think that that's a norm when it's really not a norm.
Raychel is really proud of the work that her agency does and its values.
So we are a faith-based organization, and which tends to scare some people when they hear that, because they think when you're a faith-based organization that tends to exclude a lot of people from joining in, from volunteering, or the type of parents we place or kids we place. But we're non-discriminatory, and that is really important to me, because it shouldn't matter where you come from or what you look like or what you do. If you have a heart for helping children heal and align with the goal of providing healing and a safe place for a child, then you align with our mission. I couldn't do it if that's not what we stood for. I couldn't be just a rotating door. And having staff that retains here, we have a really high staff rate because we hire people who believe in our mission and our values. And because of that, we have really great relationships with our kids and families.
As the branch manager, Raychel leads a team of 28 people.
Leadership is weird because I don't look at myself as a leader, because when you find people who are just as compassionate and just as passionate about what we do, it makes it really easy to just lead because they kind of lead and then I just follow along and make sure that if there's crumbs to be picked up, I'll pick them up, but they do it so effortlessly that it's not a hard job because they do such a great job. And so, I'm more of a hands-on, just really making sure everyone has what they need because they can't do what we're asking them to do if they're not taken care of. And I think when you're a leader, you have to be willing to take care of your staff. They're the wheels that keep this going. And so if we don't support them, they get burnt out. And then what do you have? And you don't have anything. And so I think just being a great leader means that you care and that you care not on a surface level, but on a really deep level.
Raychel cares deeply about her staff. When her coworker's car broke down, Raychel called her husband to help. He drove out immediately, picked up Rachel's coworker, and even helped them get their car towed. And Rachel's coworkers support her too.
And my kids see, my coworkers as like their family. If my husband's not able to do something, there's 20 other people here like, I'll go pick up your kids for you. Don't even worry about it. And just pick them up for me after dinner. I'll feed them. And to me, you don't get that just anywhere. I may not have like a really close relationship with my biological family, but I have 28 people here that I love and love me. And to me, I wouldn't change that.
One reason Raychel thinks her team is so close is because they share the same values and care about their work.
And it's so special to know that anybody could ask any of our staff members about who we are and what we do and why what we do is so special. And they all share that excitement and love for it. And that's what makes being a leader here so special for me, is that I know that we are represented by the best of the best. And you can't teach that.
So what would Raychel change about her job?
I want people to know that the stigma that is out there on foster kids is so skewed and so misrepresented, and that, just from a standpoint of what you see on the news when you hear about foster care, it's never like, look, what these amazing agencies are doing. And I'm not talking about just us, because any agency that's helping kids is making a difference. And so I would want people to know that these stigmas and that these, oh my gosh, look at what happened to this child in foster care, that's not the norm. And that there really are great foster families out there and great CPS workers out there and great case managers and agencies, but also great biological parents out there that, they made one mistake, and something that someone said to me was, we're all one big mistake away from something bad happening. And having that grace for people, because people make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes affect people, but it doesn't make you a bad person. I love what we do. I wouldn't change it for $1 billion a year. I don't think I would walk away from this, because it's so impactful. And to be able to impact lives in a positive way every day, like, not a lot of people get to say that about their jobs. These kids need to know that no matter where they go in life, that they are always going to have a home here at the sanctuary, and they have people who love and care about them. And that when they're, 25 and succeeding and living their life and going to college, that we are just rooting for them, and they need that, and they need people in their corner. And so for me, seeing our kids come in, and when they see me and they're like, Miss Raychel, I've missed you, you're my best friend, it's like, I did something. I made an impact on that child's life. And to me, that is worth, every late night crisis call, or every, late day because something crazy happened, you got to work a little late. To me, those moments are priceless.
Thanks for listening to this episode. This podcast was created and hosted by me, Sam Heimbach. It was produced by Zachary Webb. Podcast art and website design are by Hannah Fenvez of HMF Design. Music is from Soundstripe. This podcast was funded in part by the Baton Savoie Scholarship offered through the Human Dimensions of Organizations Master's Program at the University of Texas at Austin. You can learn more about this episode and others at fostercareerexperience.com. Thank you.